Hello, my name is ArbieG and welcome to today's video where we're still at Gr.4 Sport and I'm bringing you just a little race here that I did the other day. Polled in first place, which was my second pole position, and this was what happened on the race. So you can see I'm getting away on my rolling start, so I'm not in control of the car at the minute, and everyone's piling in behind the chap in second place, who looks like he's in the pits, it says. So he's out on a pause menu. It seems to have held, I don't know if that's a common glitch or what, but it's held everyone up and they get away. Everyone starts at the same point, which I imagine must be awful for everyone in that. A lot of ghosting, a lot of penalties being put on people, and they're now just coming through now to the first turn really, whereas I'm already going down at ArbieG. So yeah, I'm not going to show you the whole race here because wouldn't be a very exciting thing to watch. It's just literally me doing laps, making sure that I don't crash. Yeah, so this was my second win on GT Sport, but it's a bit of a hollow one in the sense of, you know, although I earned the pole position and all that kind of stuff, would have been nice to actually try and have someone to race against, but at the same time. So yeah, we'll skip forward there. We're not going to take part in watching all that race, but there's a result there, and we get our little victory screen where we pulled off a clean race and we got a pole position as well. Although we didn't get the fastest lap, so maybe would have been interested had that not been a bit of a glitchy moment and give me a massive lead. So this is a proper race. So we're going to do on this video 2 races, and we're going to do a qualifying lap. The qualifying lap is going to be set after. I'm going to show the qualifying lap after this one, but this one was with a slightly improved quali time than last time. So last video we had a 2:32 flat, and now we've pushed that down to 2:31.5, and I've managed to get my safety rating up to A. So my real aim at the minute is safety rating, get my safety rating up to S. So basically when I come into races, I'm racing against other people who are also either S rated or A rated, so I'm in general getting cleaner races, and then once I'm there I can then start really trying to focus on trying to climb up and, you know, try and get wins and trying to get poles and trying to get top 3 finishes and top 5. So really aiming to get the SR up, so that's my main aim at the minute. I mean, if I can get into a higher place and get that DR up, then great. But SR is my main priority at the minute. So I don't know why, but I've got really bad internet signal on that on that board there. But you can see here we're qualified in 3rd place, so that's where we're starting from on this grid. And we're going to get away to a normal start this time, as opposed to whatever happened in that last race. So yeah, like I said, I've been really enjoying this track. Looking forward to coming back to it. Hopefully it's going to make an appearance at some point in the FIA season. I need to check the schedule. I'm sure it'll be in there somewhere. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to coming back to it and trying it out with perhaps different class of car or something like that. But I am really enjoying the GT4 cars. I really am. But I think now that I'm doing this, I'm still really need to work on my technique. Still not really fantastic at trail braking, which is really the main technique that I need to master, because once you're doing that, you're really pushing forward your lap times, because your braking distance is much further back than everyone else's, so you can go into corners. So it looks like I got a penalty there. I must have breached the track limits, I believe, on that at the very start of the turn. So I've got a 2-second lead on the guy behind me, so going to serve a 1-second penalty now, which we've just served there, and the gap's going to reduce down now between us and 4th place. So really, like I said, aim at the minute is, you know, make sure I'm not doing anything stupid and coming in last place because I've come flying off the track 4 times, but most importantly, just make sure I'm having clean races, you know, and if they're not clean, at least I'm not getting any penalties, and each race is having a boost onto the safety rating, and that's what we're trying to do with these races that we're running at the minute. So we're sitting at 3rd, we've got 4th breathing down our neck, kind of our own fault. Like I said, we cut a corner a little bit on ArbieG, and means that we had to serve a 1-second penalty, and now we've got, so I'm right over us as we go wide on there, and he's got the opportunity to overtake, which he's taken a nice. Left the door wide open for him for a nice easy overtake, and like anyone would do, he's stepped right through it. Hopefully we'll find an opportunity to be able to climb and make that position back. We've got a good, as we drift a little wide there, we've got a good 4-second lead on the car behind us. So we've got a nice comfortable gap where we can try and push up against third. But it hasn't been the cleanest lap so far. So hopefully we can keep it a bit tight as our one ride again, and we're spun out. And that is a bad one as we hit the rear against the barrier, but we've come back onto the track, and we've had worse ones, but that is a bit of a nightmare. Seemed to just lose grip coming around that corner. Either went in a bit hard or just sort of missed the apex and ran wide and lost my grip as I come off the track, and lo and behold, here we are on a spin. Losing ourselves down now to 8th position, so, but we're fortunate in the sense that we didn't knock anyone, didn't bash anyone, didn't receive a penalty from the barrier hit. So in terms of the safety rating is still untarnished. And in terms of my driver rating, with it currently being D as well, if I'm finishing in the top half of the race, then that's still improving my DR. If I'm finishing in the bottom half of the race, then it's decreasing my DR. That's what I'm generally finding out. Obviously, that's kind of really depends on who I've been matched up with. If it's all Ds, then I need to finish higher. If I'm racing against all Ds, if I'm racing against a few As and Bs, then finishing in the middle of the pack gets me more points than finishing in the middle of the pack against all Ds. I really do like the ranking system they've put into this. It's and the skill and safety based. And matchmaking is appreciated. So we've got 2 people serving penalties in front of us. Might be an opportunity for us to be able to gain or even overtake. So we see here we can go straight through those and climb 2 positions there just from them having to serve penalties. And that's a nice little climb for us there. So we've managed to, from our loss where we spun out, we managed to climb ourselves from 8th up to 6th. And now we can look at either chasing down 5th or cementing our 6th place. But I got a feeling with the pace that I might have on the people in front of me, it might be worth trying to push a little bit and see if people are going to make any mistakes in front of me. So we're chasing down the chap in 4th position here, the Italian. Got a half-second penalty, so if I can keep close to him, might be able to either hit him on the penalty or even overtake beforehand. But he's taking a bad line through there. Am I going to get an opportunity here? No, I've decided to sit in behind and not attack yet. He's broke really heavy through there and given 6th and 7th place a chance to catch up. This is the problem when you're trying to get past someone who's defending so strong, is you have to make a move or else you're going to get taken yourself. So I've made my move here, come out the inside, and he's got bumped. So a bit unfortunate again for the I think it was the Italian there. The French hit into the Italian hit me, and the Italian got most of the penalty. But it seems like they both got penalties, so maybe a fair outcome. Maybe not so much for the guy that I overtook, who quite honestly just got a hit, and then his hit him onto me. So would feel a little bit annoyed if that was me, but quite honestly, I've come out all right. I took the inside line, and it seemed I come out relatively unscathed, and we're now sitting in 4th place. As we come up through now, coming up to the final lap of this race. So it's been quite an active race this, we've slipped down through quite a major slip up, and then we've climbed some position. So what I mean there is that is a perfect turn where I didn't do any trail braking. I just did normal, 100% full brake on the straight, and then once I'm, at the correct speed, turn into the corner. I need to brake later and trail brake into the apex. So I'm slowing down as I'm coming into the apex as opposed to reaching a speed before it. So I understand it in theory, it's just be able to pull it off in practice. So we've got people behind us serving penalties, so that gives us a little bit of a cushion. A massive gap between us and the person, I thought there was a bigger gap between us and the person in front of us, but no, 3rd place is right in front of us. So we might be able to climb another position if the Spaniard in 3rd gives us a chance to. As we're now about 1/3 through the final lap. Coming down to this long sweeping hairpin, which can often make or break a lap if you brake too hard. But it seems like we've taken a good line for us through that, and keeping up with third position. See if we can use a little bit of slipstream just to gain a few attempts of a second. And he's taken that awfully, and am I going to get an opportunity to overtake here? I've gone for the attack, I've taken the inside on him, drifted a little wide to see if I can get there. Light bit of contact, didn't mean to do that, and I've got past him, but is he going to get past me on the next turn through a better racing line, which he has. So we went for the attack, didn't ruin ourselves by, you know, overshooting it, but we had to get on that inside and see if we could take that line, which we didn't quite. But there's still another few straights on this race yet, and it still looks like I'm trying to find the opportunity to attack. Lost a little bit of time there through running off and not getting the optimal amount of grip. As now we come down to this hard sweeping left, and how I got the pace on here to be able to have an attack. We've got pace, and I'm going to go for the attack, and he's swept in front of me, but he's pushed too hard and he's run wide. We both broke a little late, but he come out there much worse off. I think he was more interested in trying to block me than he was in trying to make the turn, and committed too much. I turned on the heavy braking, which meant he would have lost, you know, some of the braking and ran forward. But I'm not going to complain, actually. If you consider what happened in that race, you know, we started in third, had a bad spin out, dropped to 8th, and worked our way back up to third. So no loss, and we did that through a clean racing, no bumps or scrapes. Apart from, you know, we took one hit during that moment where someone got bumped into us, and then we also maybe gave a very light tap as we were right at the end there, but it wasn't enough to incur a penalty or put anyone off their race or anything like that. So that is the end of our first race that we've done so far. So you can see there a third place finish confirmed. We've got a boost on the safety rating, so we're still not up to S class yet. We ran a 2:33.2, which is not bad for our race times, but a little bit off the best lap, which is a 2:31.8. So in terms of the lap chart, we can see there, started in third, and as I said, we dipped really bad spin out all the way down to 8th, and then slowly worked our way up and stole third on the last corner. So a nice race to do there. Quickly save that replay. So this is what we have here, is now a qualifying lap that I did after this race, and this feeds into the next race. So I've been running on a 2:31.5 for quite a while, and that was what I was trying to beat as I come in. So I've given a cockpit view for the entire lap here, so we can kind of really see what I'm doing, and perhaps spy a couple of opportunities where we could possibly improve, and definitely spy where we might be messing up on the trail braking a little bit, as footage seems to be losing a couple of frames. Might have to get a capture card soon, so it seems to be dropping frames more than I'd like as we come down here. So we got through El Rouge all right, you know, managed to keep it full on the throttle. Heavy breakthrough here, and I tried to get to about 75 before I push again. Again, probably a bit of trail braking would do me a bit of favours there, as I believe I just sort of full brake it into the corner until I'm at the right speed. Come down here, slip down to third. I've seen some people slip down to second on this turn, but I tried to get to about 59. Work out you can get through the turn alright if you've blipped just below 60. Here, you need to get on the accelerator really early on that turn, which we managed to do there, which I was pleased about. As we come through here, I think I brake a little early on that turn, which we can definitely improve, but I seem to catch that pretty well. If you can, again, I found that if you can do that with just dipping below 100 miles per hour, I feel like that's the best I'm taking that turn at the minute. I've performed that turn well if I'm doing that. So, as you can see, quite a solid lap here. You can see why I'm quite pleased with it. I mean, it's not a top 10 leaderboard kind of lap. They do a lot more, you know, really pushing the limits of what the game and the cars can do in order. So I would have lost a little bit of time there, you see. So you can see where I can definitely still make some time. You know, when we're moving off the track and on the track, we're losing time that we should be accelerating, and that just can't be ignored. So as we come down now into the final chicane, heavy on the brakes, slip down to second place. Just make sure you hit that initial apex and oversteer a little bit so you can get nice and early onto the accelerator here, which I didn't quite do as nicely as I know I can. So there's still a better lap I can find here, but a 2:30.8 is the best I've managed to run so far. And that's the lap we're going to take into the final race that we're going to do on Spa. So that earned me a qualification of 8. As you can see, I'm drawn up with a lot more C and B class races. But we've got a nice set of A class in the safety, so hopefully should have a relatively clean clean race. But it's mad, isn't it? You think, you get some races where I had a slower qualifying time, there's one where I had a 2:32 flat, and I pulled in first twice using that, and then you can have this one and end up a lot further back in the grid. So we're going to be racing in the middle of the pack on this race, starting in 8th position with a lot of fast races in front of us. So a little bit more challenging than perhaps the last race, where I believe it was just D-class races. Still racing in the Corvette, a C7. I've been really tempted to go for a Chevrolet in the manufacture season in order to run the Corvettes, but I'm debating whether to do that or go with Aston Martin. So I'll make my choice up. I'll make my mind up in the next few days, but this is really going to be our last sort of SR and DR grind video, and with the FIA season starting tomorrow, I imagine a lot of the videos are going to be geared towards how we're performing in the FIA, and I'll be sort of SR and DR boosting perhaps on stream or just in my own private time. So I might bring you a video if it's a particularly exciting race or anything like that, but I think we're going to be focusing a lot more on the FIA season as the weeks progress. So we come nicely through turn 1 here. As we continue down now towards Eau Rouge, not really doing anything offensive at the minute. It's a relatively nice line through turn 1 and see if we can get through here nice and neatly, which it looks like we have. Managed to hit our apexes nicely and not lost any pace going up through there, which should hold our 8th place. So yeah, we're definitely going to have a bit of a middle of the pack race here. Can't see me having the pace yet to be able to push up and challenge those high-end B-class racers. Well, I know some other players wouldn't see me as a high-class racer, but in terms of a relativity to where I am, they are. They're faster than me, so they are fast racers. So you've got a couple penalties being served in front of us here. So we could wait and sort of ride these guys around the lap and then take our opportunity when it gets round to the penalty line to see if we can use their reduction in speed to overtake, or we can see if we can find an attacking opportunity, which can be a bit of a challenge when you've got 7 attacking 6 and 6 attacking 5, that in the sense of even if you do manage to find a bit of an attacking opportunity and get in front of 7, possibly what's going on with the person in 6 might interrupt how you then proceed into the next corner, and therefore losing space again to number 7. So when these packs are a bit tight, it can be a bit hard to take an opportunity and know that you're going to be able to do it in a way which you're not going to impact your safety rating. So we're just sitting behind them at the minute, not really trying to press up on them, but really not trying to lose pace either, as we're very aware as well of the Frenchman in number 9 sitting behind us in a position where he could possibly move for an attack as well. So we took a really nice line through there, and looks like I'm possibly looking at the inside here, but maybe I just went a little conservative on the braking, thinking about the SR. Maybe if I dived on the inside there and tried to gain a place or two, probably would have took a knock, or maybe might have knocked somebody else. So decided to pull out of that one and managed to retain the position. But I was eyeing up the attack. I was thinking about it. So come through turn 1 now, and he tried to attack me on the inside there. Didn't quite get his position right as we come burning down the straight. and we are pretty much neck and neck now with me and the guy in 8th and 9th position, Frenchman. He's got it in front of me. Oh, and I've got taken a hit from behind, and he swept me. That was a bit naughty there. He should have come off and afforded me the space. And he didn't, and he's in front, but he has managed to get himself a 2-second penalty for not giving me the space to be able to come back. And you know, it's racing, and you don't want people to get in front of you. At the end of the day, it's just like if you're on a road, if a car's in that space, you can't, there's nothing I could have done to avoid what was gonna happen there other than fly myself off track. It was up to him to sort of ease off a little bit, because I had the line in front of him and I had the space in front of him. I believe so anyway. I mean, that's how I see it. I know sometimes these collisions can be a little bit of a grey area, but as far as I can see it, he was riding up the back of me, and if he didn't have an overtaking opportunity by coming off the racing line, then he needs to ease off and fall back behind me. The person who overtook me, I think it's Scirocco, the 8th position guy, are totally valid. He managed to get on the inside of me on turn 1. We went down the straight, and he edged in front of me. Because I realised he edged in front of me, I come off my accelerator a bit to drop behind him to get back on the racing line. And as I did that, this is when the person behind me didn't see what I was doing and didn't do the same thing. So hopefully we should be able to reclaim our 9th position here through the penalty. If we can just keep the gap between us and 9th not too big, which it looks like a bit of a gap at the moment there, probably about 1.5 seconds, maybe even 2-second gap that we have there. But when you get a 2-second penalty on that long straight, it really hurts, because obviously you do incur the initial 2 seconds, as you forces the acceleration. As I get a bit of oversteer, but manage to keep it under control there. But as just making sure that we come through and hit both the apexes, which we have done there. Got a lot of penalties happening behind us, so we don't really have to worry too much behind what's going on behind us. But yeah, as I was saying, when you get a 2-second penalty on that back straight, half second is not that bad, because you slightly decelerate, drop down a gear, hit on it, and yeah, you've lost pace and people are gaining on behind, but you generally make it. But a 2-second penalty, not only do you get the 2-second itself, as in you are deaccelerating until your time gap is 2 seconds down, you've lost so much speed that the people behind you are coming up very fast, and it's almost impossible to defend. So you could have a 3-second gap, but because you've got a 2-second penalty, you will lose your place. So you can see here, he's just incurred the penalty now, and just as I said, a long wait with a long bringing his speed right down. That means he's got to accelerate back up, and he's lost his position. So good to see. Not something that you see every time, but it's good to see the GT Sport penalty system working the way it was intended to. As we come round now into the final lap, so we're in 9th position, so we've only dropped 1 place through what was a bit of a knock, and we managed to claim that one back. And then Scirocco in front of us quite fairly did quite a clean overtake for us. As we come round now, don't think we're going to be in a position. Oh no, look at that, someone's come out, a yellow flag span out, and we actually have managed to gain a position, and they have a 2.5 penalty, so that's going to bode well, considering we're only half a lap left. Again, he might have been one of the middle front runners, so he might even had the pace with me, but even if he did catch up to me in these last couple of turns, get in my slipstream and get in front of me, and then get a 1.5 seconds in front of me, it's just, I can't see it happening unless I do something really stupid. So if we can hold 8th position here, yeah, not an amazing race, not the best race, but in terms of the CR and the SR, I'm ahead of a lot of the other people that are ranked the same as me, and I've had a clean race. I've not really had any accidents or any bumps or scrapes or anything like that, and that's ultimately what I'm aiming to do with these races, is just do it to boost the SR and the DR prior to the FIA season. So not so much bothered about the DR. I mean, obviously the higher DR I get, the more points I'll get. Great, fantastic, this is why we're doing it, all for the points. But the SR will match me against clean races, so I can actually enjoy the races I'm having, which is for me obviously more important. So we finished there, managed to finish in 7th, so we actually gained a position there. Must have been a dropout or something, or perhaps I was talking, not realise that we managed to overtake at the end. But you can see we actually raised a position there. And we got a clean race star as well. Always nice to earn our little clean race star. So we're going to have a little look at some information now. Look at how we're doing on the SR and DR. So we've had 32 races overall. Obviously, you haven't seen every single one of those races. I've just sort of brought you cherry-picked about 6 or 7 that you've seen at this track. No, about 8 or 9 you've seen across whatsoever. We've got 6,000 on our performance, 84 on our sportsmanship rating, so we're really starting to drive that up now. We've got 2 wins, and you can see on the graphs there, we're over the average now for the DR. So we've drifted into C, and we're now into S class for the SR rating as well, and well over the average there. So we've managed to do what our pretty much first objective was on GT Sport, which was try and get our SR into the S class, which we've done now. So that's our first objective ticked, and now we can really start focusing on a more sort of intermediate and advanced racing techniques that I'm not quite doing right yet. You know, trail braking, proper progressive acceleration, reducing wheel spin, using brake balance and understanding it, and all these other things that I kind of, you know, I've just been trying to race, you know, so I come up to a corner, I brake, I turn, and I accelerate, but I just, you know, I know that to push myself on further, I've got to get to that more like intermediate point of view, and that's where we're going to be going through. So next video you're going to see is going to be how I performed on the initial FIA Nations race. I don't know if I'm going to do it as just an individual video for the Nations and an individual one for the manufacturer, or whether I'll just do like a weekly like FIA roundup sort of thing. I'm not sure. I'll see how I go. But thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and don't forget to like, subscribe, all that other stuff that people normally ask you to do on YouTube, and I'll talk to everyone really soon. Alright guys, cheers, bye.